Today we are going to make liver dumpling soup for the kids. We bought some livers, this is like 1.5 pounds, and some ground beef and some ground pork. We might not use all this meat because that looks more than double. Okay, today we're going to make liver dumplings. I have in this bowl about 1.5 pounds of beef liver. Chicken liver is okay too. I have about 1 pound of pork ground and 1 pound of ground beef also. I have 2 medium-sized onions and either some parsley, fresh parsley, or what I had some frozen lovage from the garden. It has a similar taste like the green tips of celery. It's a nice flavor. We also need 3 eggs, probably 1 cup of breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, and very important is marjoram. Marjoram is an important spice in this food. I will spice this bowl, before I even grind it all up. I realize that the pork and beef is already ground, but mixing it and grinding it makes it a lot easier to mix later again. Okay, now we're grinding up the liver and the onions, and as it grinds, it's mixing the stuff already. That's why I'm grinding the pre-ground pork and beef one more time. Plus it doesn't hurt if it's nice and fine. So it's a little difficult for me to hold the phone and grinding, but you get the idea what I'm doing, and we keep on going at this project. At the end of the grinding process, I took some small pieces of bread and I ran it through the machine until it all comes clear bread. Then I know all the meat out of the machine, what is still was sitting in there, that is all gone, and we can use it. So now I added 3 small or 2 big eggs and a full cup of breadcrumbs, a full teaspoon of salt, a big nice full tablespoon of the marjoram, and some black pepper. And now I'm gonna mix it up. For the restaurant, I used to take half breadcrumbs and half flour, because on a busy night when we sold a lot of liver dumplings, what happened, the waitresses went like crazy with their spoons into that big pot with the little liver dumplings for the soup and broke them all up, because if they're nice and tender, they break up. So I put some flour in it to make them a little bit sturdier. It didn't take away from the flavor, just made them a little bit harder. Now I'm making a gespickte Zwiebel, that means a poked onion. You peel the onion, cut it in half, you leave the root work on it so it sticks together and doesn't fall apart right away. Then you take a bay leaf and you take 3 cloves and stick them right in there. Okay, I couldn't do it with one hand on the phone and one hand on my work. So this is a gespickte Zwiebel. It goes in the water, and I'm going to take like 4 chicken bouillon cubes and put them in the water and let it come to the boil. Once this is boiling, I'm going to make 1 liver dumpling as a test to see if I like the taste and if I like the consistency. I don't like to try that stuff when it's raw with the liver. The water is pretty much boiling. I'm going to take my little scoop and I'm just going to make 1 dumpling to taste it. Now when it comes up, then it takes an extra 5 minutes and then it's done. Okay, and then I can taste it. Well, this one is swimming for 5 minutes now. See how it came up when it was raw, it was on the bottom. and take it out and cut it in half and have a little piece. Have at it. Oh, could have taken a little longer, I think.
That's why you test them. Shooting right into the light here. Wait.
So I'm tasting it. So the whole thing can use a little more salt. I'm going to put a little Maggi in it if you don't have any, maybe a tiny little bit soy sauce. A little garlic and more pepper. Oh, it just was not enough. Otherwise it's good. Salt in it. That's it. And a little more pepper. The margarine is okay. I like to put a little Maggi in it.
That's a lot of Maggi, actually.
Oh, and I forgot! Nutmeg!
Ah,
That's what it's missing. I have some fresh ground nutmeg. I just ground it up yesterday
really?
and put it in here, yes. And a little garlic.
A little garlic.
Yeah.
That looked like a lot of garlic to me, too.
Okay, now we are working that over and do another test. By the way, that meat mass with those 3 eggs were pretty big, so it was very soft. So I added another half a cupful of this breadcrumbs while nobody was looking. Okay.
Did you make another test?
Yeah. Into the boiling water. Wait until that is done.
Okay. Wait till that swims. Okay.
So I adjusted the dough a little more. I also found some frozen chives, garlic chives. I put those in the last minute. And now I'm going to dunk this always in the hot water and make nice balls. Oops.
Okay, they're cooking.
Okay, they're cooking.
They're cooking.
They're cooking.
Takes about, what do you think?
15 minutes.
15 minutes?
So those dumplings, they were cooking for a while, swimming for a while. I'll take, what do you call those, Chinese spoon?
It's called a spider.
A spider. Takes a spider, get them as dry as possible out on a tray. And then I will freeze them on a tray and singly put them in Ziploc bags, loose. And then I'll take the broth, put a little bit more water in there, and cook some celery, maybe a couple carrots in it. Strain it and put the broth in the freezer in little tubs. And when I want to eat some soup, I take some broth and some liver dumplings. You can also even put them together in the tubs for 5 dumplings and a little broth and freeze it like that.
Okay, you're going to show putting the celery and stuff in the broth, right?
No, I gotta cook a lot more dumplings first.
Oh, okay. More dumplings to be cooked. Where's your dumplings?
That's going to take. So in many parts of Germany, liver dumplings are eaten as a full meal, not just as a soup. And then you make a couple big dumplings. You serve it over sauerkraut. You serve it with bread or mashed potatoes. And then you brown some diced bacon and diced onions. You brown it and put it all over the dumplings and it makes a wonderful full meal instead of just a soup. That's
Okay.
all.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds good. Okay.
So that's a liver dumplings we got out of it. They're nicely dry on that tray, and that's how I'm going to freeze them and later single put them
Post.
into Ziploc packs. Those are the 4 dumplings, what I made for us tonight, what we eat with sauerkraut and mashed potatoes and a bacon onion gravy. That's all.
Okay.
So now we have this broth, what we cooked the liver dumplings in. It kind of got spicy because we cooked so many dumplings in it. So I add some more water so it doesn't, so it's not too salty. And now I put some celery and carrots. I just
Grated.
put it on the grater for a minute. So now we cook that for a while so we get a nice broth and get a little vegetable flavor in there too. Later on, that can either be strained out that you have a nice clear broth, or you can leave it in. I leave it in and I add some more chives right on the end and eat the soup.
How long do you think that should cook?
This should cook another 20 minutes or
About
so.
20 minutes. Okay.